Hi everyone! So, welcome back to So What If I Sew? I'm Jess, and if you haven't been to this channel before, welcome. This channel is all about sewing, dressmaking and all things stitch related, and today you join me for a sew along that is accompanied by a guest blog post on the rag shop. So the fabric I'm using today, to establish from the outset, was gifted for that blog post, but I love it so much and I'm so excited about what I'm making that I wanted a video as well. The video is not part of the gifted arrangement, it's just me having fun. So without further ado, today I have been gifted this stunning fabric from the rag shop that I adore. It's Viscose Jersey. It is so incredibly light. Look at that recovery and the bounce. And it's gorgeous. I love the colour. It's really exciting. I was going to buy it anyway, and then she went, do you want to write a blog post? Yes I do. So what we are going to make with this is really, it screams wrap dress. So I'm going to be making a wrap dress from one of the Great British Sewing Bee books. And it's a dress I've waited to make for quite a while because I love wrap dresses, but for somebody with my figure, they tend to gape a bit, which is a little bit risky. So in this one, I'm going to try and build in some elements that fit my figure a little bit more and are still work appropriate, because that is always the drama. So what we will need today is 2 to 3 meters of chosen fabric, a light viscose jersey, anything stretch related. This is a stretch pattern, so you do need that. Matching thread and bias binding. You can either buy it if your fabric's plain, or I'm going to make my own, which is why I got 3 meters. Although the pattern says you need like 2.5 up to 3, I think. I doubt I'll need that much, so I've definitely got space to make my bias binding, I think. So first of all, I need to do some pattern tracing, so let's get on with that. So you joined me upstairs for a quick chat about patterns because my partner's relaxing downstairs and I kind of just want to leave him to it, and when I'm sewing I have my headphones in. So, pattern sizing. Right. Firstly, I've noticed this particularly in this British Sewing Bee book. The sizing is really off to like anything else I've ever used in my life. So I've got 26, 27 inch waist and 36 inch bust and about the same 36, 37 on my hips. So I'm somewhere normally between an 8 to a 10, sometimes a 12 in the top, and then I grade occasionally. So depending on the pattern, obviously. So, you know, that's kind of normal. In this pattern, I'm a 14 on top and a 12 the rest of me, which isn't really accurate. So first of all, if you're using this book, don't worry. The sizes are nonsense, and that's fine. So, second thing, with cutting out jersey, I don't know how you cut out jersey on carpet. I've done it once before and I can't remember how it was fine, but my god was it difficult last night. Yeah, it was problematic. So, we will do our best with the pattern pieces. I'm going to go cut out the bodice now because it got too dark last night for me to work. So I'm going to go cut out the rest of the bodice, the rest of the skirt, get the pieces ironed, and then we will start basic garment construction. This vlog will be a little bit bittier than usual because normally when I film vlogs I pretty much do it all in a day or two, but at the moment my master's degree has started in earnest alongside my full-time job, so I am really busy. So I'm trying to fit in sewing in like kind of manageable bite-sized chunks rather than overwhelming myself. So you will probably see me for a couple of days this week, and just so you know, so lots of outfit changes, but I will try and keep you guys as up to date as possible, and we will make an awesome garment together. So I'm going to go cut out the rest of my pattern pieces and then we'll get some sewing done, finally. So first of all, working with the pleats on the front of the bodice, which are up here. So it's basically a box pleat, we're just folding them in, and this is our front wrap here. So as you can see, this is the size 14 bodice graded down to a 12 at the waist. And honestly, does that look like a 14 to you? Because it doesn't look like one to me. Yeah, we've got the waistline here, which we can shorten or lengthen it from. Apologies for the shadow, I'm trying to make sure it's not in the way as much as possible. So we're gonna sew these in place now, and then we are going to, next step is attach the back of the bodice over here to the front. So we're already gonna get our wrap started really early on. So let's do that. I do like to give you guys a bit of an update as well on how I'm doing with the pattern, so I will, and also how I'm doing with the fabric on this one. So the lighting's not great, it looks a bit pale, but it is actually a lovely mustard colour. It's getting so much darker in the evening now, like so much earlier. So the top is not bad. I've got a sweatshirt on, so I can't really try it on at the moment, but in terms, I was worried about the shoulder length, but actually it sits pretty well, and obviously a bit of it will go at the end as we're about to set the sleeves in after we've done the waist tie element. So they're not bad. It's quite a low wrap. I think it naturally comes about there, sorry, with the mid bust being there. So I might adjust mine a little bit. We'll see how it fits when it's on, and I might raise, I know you're meant to do it beforehand, but I may raise the waist a little bit, but we'll see, because generally the waist is brought up by my bust anyway, so we'll see how we go. The pattern is very easy to follow, and honestly I think if I hadn't been really busy today, I could have probably done this start to finish in one day. So would really recommend the pattern, and it does, like, it's really easy. In terms of fabric, this is a dream to sew with. This Viscose Jersey is honestly, like, I love it. It is so soft and it just flows through the machine. I was really worried it would kind of gather, or it would get stuck, as sometimes jerseys do, but honestly this is an absolute dream to sew. My machine's loving it and so am I. So as I mentioned to you guys, the next step is for us to open this hole and stitch it. Then we're going to prepare and set in the sleeves. So I'll give you guys more of an update when we get there, but just to give you an idea, bodice is done, sleeves next, skirt, then ties, and then we're all done. So let's get on with it. So I've prepared my sleeves, but I thought I'd share it with you guys. So they're quite long, but they're traditional sleeves, they're not raglan. And I have stitched up the inside edge of the seam. We're not doing double seams here. We're going to press them open after we've stitched them in. But we are going to double stitch the actual armhole. So I've also stay stitched, so 2 sleeves, I've also stay stitched the armhole of the main bodice, give you that little bit more stability there. So I'm going to insert these sleeves now, and then I'm probably going to try it on quickly just to check they don't pull, and I'll show you guys when I get there what it looks like. here's the top tried on in the light of day. Obviously it's actually sitting really nicely on my waist, as you can see, and the bust trim is really good. So I've tried it on with a proper bra today because I was sewing in a sports bra today, and I'm definitely going to put a little kind of modesty button, I think, just hidden inside to make sure it doesn't gape. But actually, if I pull the ties to the side where they will be, it's got a really flattering shape, and the back is actually a lovely fit. So although I'd say the sizes are a little bit off in terms of actual numbers, the measurements are accurate. So definitely go by your measurements if you're using this pattern, because it does work, and try not to get too hung up on clothing sizes. I like the length of the sleeves. I'm going to hem them a little bit. Might draw them in actually so they're like fitted, but we'll see. That'll be like one of the last things I do. So the next step is to attach the skirt, which is really exciting. So we've got to do the box pleats first. I'll do them quickly because we did them before, they're nice and easy. And then we'll be on to attaching, which is so exciting. So can't wait, guys, let's get going. Good morning, everybody. We are on to our last day of wrap dress sewing. I know, my goodness. I know it doesn't look like it, but basically I've had to have a week's break in the middle because everything's just been slightly insane. So I basically finished it on Monday, and now it's Saturday, and I've just got to do the last few bits, really. So let me talk you through what we're going to do today. On the floor next to me, I have got the two waist ties that have been sewn together. This morning I pressed them along with the full press of this. I know there wasn't a huge amount of talking, and I am conscious that it's a vlog and I should be talking to you guys about what I'm doing, but also this pattern's very simple and there isn't actually that much to talk through, but because it's with such stunning fabric and it's a big first make for me, I'm still vlogging it anyway. So if you do have any questions, let me know in the comments below and I will happily answer. There will also be a guest blog post, so hopefully that's helpful. Anyway, today we are finishing off. So we're going to add the waist ties, but before that I've got to cut out like 2.5 meters of bias binding from the same fabric and bind all of the front raw edges, so the raw edges of the wrap. If I hold up what I've got, in a second I'm going to try it on and show you guys so you can see what it looks like on me. So these front edges here around the neckline, everything to make sure it doesn't stretch when you wear it, and we'll bind all of the edges all the way down, and then I'll just hem the bottom and hem the sleeves. Then after that is when we attach the waist ties, because they go in just inside. I think you can probably tuck them into just the bias binding when we sew them. And then yeah, it's hems and finishing really. So it's a lovely simple pattern. I really would recommend it, especially as a first wrap dress. So I've always wanted to make a wrap dress. It goes up there with shirt dresses and things like that, where it's actually very hard to find them in a kind of curvier body dimension. And that means that, you know, if you do get them, they've got an enormous waist to accommodate bust, or they're frankly pornographic, which no one needs in their life really, when you just want to wear a nice dress. So I'm so excited to get this on. I'm so excited to get some photos of it. I've pretty much finished a guest blog post as well, which is really exciting. So they will all come out together. So if you're watching this, there is a live blog post you can go read on the Rag Shop blog. But it is, yeah, I'm so excited to finish this. So I'm procrastinating because I hate bias binding. I'm going to try this on quickly so you guys can see it, so you can see what I've done and the fit and everything, and then we are going to get on to cutting thousands of miles of bias binding, and then the boring bit really, which is ironing it. I'm very jealous of those people who've got the little bias binding making machines and like bias binding feet for their machine. I'm really considering getting one because oh my god, it's dull. But it is what it is. So I'm going to sew that on, and hopefully once that's done the edges will be a lot more stable as well, which is a concern when you're working with Viscose Jersey. So let me try it on and show you guys where we're at, and then let's get going. So here it is. This is it. So I've pulled the end of the wrap just through the hole there so it fits properly. Then if I turn around, the fit at the back is not bad. I could do to press the box pleats a little bit more, and there's a tiny bit more space in the back than I'd want there to be, but I think once I'm actually tying it up that will go, which is okay. Pretty happy with that. I've just spotted a rogue pin in this as well, so I'll have to take that out. So if I the front's not bad. I think it'll be better when it's bias bound, just because it'll have a little bit more structure and stop it pulling like that. But it sits nicely on my waist, and I think that I'm going to hem it just so it's a little bit shorter, more comfortable length for me. But I'm pretty happy with it so far. So next step is to bind all of these front edges, and then we'll get the waist ties attached, and then we're on to finishing. So super exciting, guys. Let's have a nice morning of sewing and get this done. I have done my bias binding, and this is the first time I've ever done stretch bias binding, and it is the worst thing I've ever done in my life. It's probably it's so messy. Oh my god, I'm trying to press it down so it looks less awful, but yeah, not my best really. I've learnt a couple of lessons from it, and I think I should have used a different, I don't know what, but a different foot on my machine, because it just was not having it really. So it's on at least, and as I've done it from the same fabric and with matching thread, and it's yellow so it shouldn't be too visible, like the edge is still straight and all the edges are enclosed, which is all you can ask really. But I stupidly did it from underneath rather than from on top, and this means that I've had to go back over and re-enclose some of the top, because Viscose Jersey, as I've said before in this video, it moves a lot. So a little bit frustrating really, but it's okay. I've still got a wearable garment, which I'm going to try on for you guys in a minute. I'll just need to hem it, but as it's jersey, I'm going to let it hang and just do any stretching it needs to do. I have a meeting today, and then I'm going to hem it later, but I'll try it on for you guys now so you can see it, because I am absolutely in love. Like, it's gorgeous. So exciting. Like, it doesn't look too bad, it's just a wee bit wobbly, which, you know, but it's my first time doing it. It's my first time ever doing this much bias binding, so, you know, it kind of is what it is at this stage. But yes, we have a dress, and the ties were enclosed in the bias binding, so there they are. I'm going to go try this on for you guys so you can see what it looks like. Here we are. I'm quite chuffed with this. It's a little more clingy than I thought it would be. I'll definitely have to wear like cream underwear with it or tights, which is fine. And I like the wrap. I am going to need that little popper just there because it does like relax a bit. I'm concerned I may have stretched it, but what can you do? I'm going to hem the sleeves a little bit because they're just slightly too long on me. I want them 3/4 length really, and they're a little bit baggy, but I did make the size it told me to make. And at least I can move my arms without the chest moving, which is kind of the dream. I have double tied mine because that works better with my waist. And there's just a little bit more room. The waist is dropping a bit now I've got it on properly. The waist is dropping at the back, which I think I do just need to make a narrow back adjustment when I do these things. But it is what it is really, and it's not, you know, completely damaging the effect. So there it is, tied. I'm a big fan, yeah it is, I can actually feel it's dropping there now, which is annoying. So I might take a tiny bit out of that seam, I'll see how I feel. Yeah, so I'm going to hem it as well because it's kind of on the knee, which is an awkward length for me. So I want it sort of just above the knee, so it's work appropriate, but I don't look like 2 foot high. So I'm going to do some hemming bits. I'm going to let this hang, because I've also got a meeting now, so I'm going to let this hang and then we will finish it off, but I'm quite chuffed. So here we are finally done. Normally I try to end these videos, well I normally do end these videos by being like, oh my god I love it so much, and I do love this dress. It's so comfortable, the fabric's an absolute dream to sew with. However, there's a few adjustments. It's upsetting because the top fits so perfectly, but if you are using this pattern, here's a few things to consider. Firstly, you want the top actually to sit slightly higher than your waist, because having looked back at the book as well, it's got a bit of a dropped waist quality to it, which isn't really what you want in a wrap dress. You want it to fit on your waist, unless you're quite straight bodied, in which case it doesn't matter as much, but if you are of the curvier persuasion, you kind of want it to sit on your waist. So I'd recommend taking about 1 inch off, either, you know, just letting it come up higher, or actually just taking 1 inch off the top pattern. Secondly, the skirt really pulls, so I found that, yeah, I could have actually done with probably the 14 has worked really well in the bust and in the sleeves. I've got enough movement, but I honestly probably could have done a 10 in the back and in the skirt, because as you can see my wrap's actually going around to there to fit rather than sitting at the front. If it sat at the front, it would be like right down here open. It really pulls open. So there's quite a few pattern adjustments if I make this again, which I probably will because it's quite a versatile dress, but if I make it again, I will be going down 2 sizes in the back and waist, but keeping the bust size because I quite like that. I'm also going to probably do a 12 in the sleeves because I need the room that the 14 chest gives, and that actually sits really well, that sleeve. But if you look at the top, there's a lot of spare fabric up here because obviously the bust measurement is right, but I think the problem is sometimes the accompanying shoulder and chest and rib measurements don't equate. So there's definitely, I think the next time I tackle this, I'm going to do a lot of adjustments to it, and actually right now I'm going to sit and write notes on this pattern, because I do, for any pattern I've had to change, I write notes on what I need to change next time to remind myself, because I don't want to make 2 garments and go, oh, same issue. That being said, I love the fabric in this dress and I would quite happily wear this out. There's nothing about this I wouldn't wear. I like the wrap. I think it's the box pleats at the top give it a nice bit of shaping, and the same in the skirt. I quite like the box pleats. It fits nicely. This fabric is so soft, it feels so comfy, and this will definitely be a wardrobe favourite in the summer, I know. And even in the winter, I think I've got a blazer and some stuff it'll go with, and tights under this I think would still look really cute. So really looking forward to wearing this. I've now got to figure out when I'm going to wear it because I go to work so rarely. but at least it's comfy enough to wear in the house, so if anyone wants a good old work from home smart outfit, this pattern is for you. And I cannot recommend the fabric enough, and that is not just because it's gifted from the rag shop, that's genuinely because it's a dream to sew with. It's so soft, and honestly I might get more and make myself some pyjamas. I've already made myself some pyjamas recently, but it might be time for my loungewear to get a bit of an overhaul. So thank you, as it goes to say, I've got to go take some pictures now, but thank you all so much for watching, for subscribing, for liking, for the lovely comments you guys leave me. I'm so here for it, and it kind of makes me feel less like I'm just kind of vlogging into the void. So thank you so much, your comments mean the world. And if you enjoyed this video, leave me a like and a comment, and you know, subscribe, and if you click the notification bell you can hear more from me whenever I release a new video. If you enjoyed watching this, you can head over to the rag shop to see my guest blog, and you can even get some of the fabric if you want to. And always find me on Instagram if you want to have a sewing chat. I'm always there for it. But otherwise, I will see you guys next time.